Hey guys, it turns out everything is bigger in Texas, including the complete failure of its government to actually, take care of its people. So today I'll just tell you what's on my mind while living in the greatest superpower in the world, and yet still feel like I'm in a third world country. But hey, if you stick around till the end, I'll happily offer a specific and personal solution to the problem at hand as well. Hey, XenPuck here. If you weren't aware, a winter storm swept through the USA this week, and I actually missed one of those self-imposed video published times for the first time ever because of it. No biggie, since my schedule was literally made for the sake of my own ego and pride, and boy, has my pride and ego as a citizen of the USA and Texas been taken aback lately. Let's just call it that, okay? And it's been hurt because I never thought I'd have to spend any mental energy thinking about how to counter the complete lack of electricity and running water. Not just for hours, but for days. Yeah, that's the state of Texas this week. In my household, at this point, we're just shoveling snow to melt the toilet water, okay? Or trying to make a double bag makeshift dry toilet, marking a poo bin in the yard. I'm pretty sure my cat has a better poo routine at this point than his humans in this same household. So not only do I not feel like I live in America, I barely feel like I live in the post-industrialized world, right? So if you somehow still got here to my channel, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, because all that warm and fuzzy stuff over the internet maybe will help me from freezing to death. So here's my list of fun thoughts I had this week, in no particular order, because, you know, without the internet most of the week, one has a lot of time to think and reflect. Number one, the Texas energy grid is a complete and utter disgrace. There's no other way to say it. This is an energy producing state, right? I'm pretty sure it's one of the largest energy exporting state in the Union, and yet somehow is incapable of actually keeping the lights on in itself? Hey, I get it, winter storm shuts off some supply, but where's the emergency stash? Now, you guys know that I love personal finance and preach about having a real emergency fund to cover about a year of not working. So where's the energy equivalent of that? From what I've read, it sounds like the whole system barely has enough to back up a day, much less than a month or a year. In one of the largest energy producing states in the country, they don't have a backup for a day. Oh my god. Number two, the Texan officials on the forefront seems more interested in shifting blame than any other task. Okay, I see the governor, Abbott or whatever of Texas goes down to Fox News to blame wind turbines, which only contributes to 7% of Texas's energy supply. Okay, the entire state had about, what, 5 million people without power? That's 16% of the total population, okay? Even if every single wind turbine went out, it wouldn't explain why 16% lost, 16% of the population lost power, when all the wind turbines also is only 7% of the energy supply, okay? In the city I live in, it's actually more than half the city lost power. So yeah, that tells me that the government is just looking for excuses, right? Same with, the governor of Texas is starting an investigation into the state electric grid controllers, ERCOT. Yeah, I guess somebody has to be blamed, right? Now, let me be clear. The energy infrastructure was not created by this board that operates it, okay? It's the state government's action that led to the incentives, the perverse incentives environment that caused this complete lack of an actual backup plan that made the state of Texas incapable of withstanding a 1 week long storm. It wasn't even a whole week long, like a 5-day storm, okay? Now, I'll also add in the manager specifically, Austin Energy, and this, I think, Jackie Sargent here. She kept saying Austin Energy were at the mercy at the grid people, the ERCOT organization, right? Guess what? Austin lost power at a much higher percentage of people than anywhere else in the state. So why is that, okay? Like I mentioned, 16% of the state lost power, but 50% in Austin lost power. Why is that? The only thing that I can come up with is either Ms. Sargent has zero leadership skills, or you're incapable of standing up for the citizens under your care, or you're beholden to some special interest group to the effect of being completely ineffective, right? Why would the capital of the state be the most beaten down part when it comes to shutting down power? That literally makes no sense. In most places, the center of the state, the political center of the state, would get preferential treatment. Is that the way here? No, 16% of the state is without power, and yet something like at the peak 60% of Austin lost power. No, makes no sense. Okay. Thought number 3. Ted Cruz deserves his own spot because I'm not sure if this dude, can be more cynical. I think he might even be more cynical than Moscow Mitch McConnell, okay? In the middle of the worst energy disaster in, 30, 40 years, one of the 2 highest elected officials of this glorious state of Texas popped down to spring break in Cancun. Awesome. And then he got caught and realized that it was a bad look and had to scurry back home like the sewer rat that he is. I actually kind of love this piece of news, okay? I read that he needed police escort on his way back, presumably from protesters who has been without power or water. Now, my only hope is that these protesters are welcoming him home with, bags of warm poo or frozen poo, because that is what this guy deserves for being a waste of not only an elected official, but really a waste of, like, a human being. Jesus Christ. Just do your job, you what a loser, okay? Number 4, finally, like I said before, I don't want to make it sound like all I have are complaints, okay? Because at the end of the day, I am a problem solver, okay? So here's my offer to the state of Texas, more specifically to the city of Austin, okay? Your energy operation is a mess, okay? Luckily for you, I am a freaking genius. So here's my offer. Give me access to all your energy and power data, and within 1 year, I will come up with an actual plan for the local government to implement. And if you or the public find my plan is not actionable or helpful in any way at all, I personally will pay you, the government, I will pay you $100,000 out of my own pocket. You know why I can say that? It's because I already can tell you roughly schematically what's wrong with the system. Hell, just for kicks, here, I'll give you a freebie in terms of what's actionable, okay? The leadership at Austin Energy is implied to be in the pockets of special interest groups. Fire Sergeant immediately and replace with somebody who will treat human constituents with at least the same level of respect paid to industrial corporate clients, okay? Don't worry, I'll do the math and science part too. It's not too complicated. These government utility people only make it sound that way so that they can continue to fail upwards. I've never been in the energy industry, but I guarantee you that I will figure it out within a year, and I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is, okay? At the end of the day, I offered my solution because I, unlike every single Texas official that I've heard this week, will take responsibility. If my plan sucks, I pay. Instead of listening to incessant BS that's been thrown my way. It's never anyone's fault. It's not my fault. It's not mine either. It's the wind. It's AOC and DC. It's the grid people. It's Mother Nature. No. Okay? These people must all go. I would take responsibility, okay? I alone can fix it. Jesus, how did these morons get to be in charge for such, especially for being such cowards in a state of cowboys? So while I love my early retirement, to fix the state that I now live in, I am willing to come out of retirement, learn a new field, and take on that burden, okay? For the sake of Texans, because I love this state, I love the people, but this government, these people who are in charge, they all must go. Thank you for listening.